Good morning. Welcome everyone. I'm Claire Walker and I'm the leader of the CABSDA Pathfinder Club, and we're so glad that you're here to join us today. Today we're going to be having our World Pathfinder Day service, and it's proudly brought to you by our CABSDA Pathfinder Club. Pathfinders is a worldwide organisation aimed at 10 to 16-year-olds, and it teaches a variety of life skills in an interactive and a fun way. Today our Pathfinders have prepared a drama for you. It's a drama church service, and we hope will enrich you spiritually and give you an idea of what Pathfinders means to each of us and to all the people involved. This will mostly be led by our Pathfinders, and I know they've put in a big effort, so we'll hand it over to them, and I hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Bella, and I would like to introduce the theme today. Today's service is a dramatic presentation of some of the truths we can find in the Bible. The theme is spiritual journey. Everyone is different. Our aim is to take God up on his promise of eternity with him in heaven, and to take as many of you with us as possible. However, that looks different for each individual. To that effect, what will set the mood better than a song? Please stand and sing with us, Our God.
None like you. of Pathfinders, which is an organisation aimed at 10 to 16-year-olds. However, we want to be inclusive of all ages, so for those of us kids who are not involved in this service today, we have put together an activity packed with fun things to do. And for those who are older and for those who have just joined us online, we have a challenge for you. As you walked in today, hopefully you were handed a piece of paper or a pen or a pencil. On one side of the paper are the written challenges. You can answer these challenges on blank side of paper.
First challenge is to count the Bible verses. There will be a number up on the PowerPoint that are the scriptures we are using for that particular skit or reading. These Bible verses are the ones we are counting.
If, however, you would like an extra challenge, there are some sneaky Bible references throughout the service that are not being quoted. For example, if I say we read the Bible because it lights our path, you could write down Psalms 119 verse 105 because that's the reference on the Bible verse. These Bible texts are not official, however, and will not be told in the answers.
The second challenge is to count the characters throughout the drama. A character is someone who is acting a part. There will be obvious ones such as those playing Bible characters and less obvious ones that are playing Pathfinders completing an activity. But those are all characters. That doesn't require acting. That is not a character. Also, if there is one character played by multiple people, that is still one character.
Bonus points if you can name the characters, name the actors playing the characters. And extra bonus points if you can name the actors playing the characters. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be starting the drama shortly. There's just one more thing we need to do.
Welcome everyone, my name is Daniel. First thing we want to do today is start with prayer. Will all please bow your heads. Dear God, thank you for this day. Please let us have a good lunch and thank you for the CABSDA Pathfinders that have done this. Amen. Today's sermon is brought to you by CABSDA Pathfinders, but before we can get to that, there is a group we need to acknowledge, CABSDA Adventurers. Adventurers is a program for kids aged 6 to 9, which runs on a Saturday afternoon once per month and teaches our kids about loving God and each other in a fun, activity-based way. A lot of us Pathfinders have come up through the ranks, and our time there has shaped the people we are today. So we have a small tribute we would like to show you to acknowledge the wonderful program Adventurers is.
Welcome. What a great day to be here. Welcome Pathfinders, staff, family and friends, those who are close and those who are far away, to Pathfinder Rally. As you know, Pathfinders is an activity-based way to learn about and interact with God and his creation, including people and nature. We do this as part of a worldwide organisation that shares resources and tips to help keep the programs and activities relevant and interesting to today's youth. Today, that activity is Fair Day, a day where Pathfinders put their skills to the test in activities and races to demonstrate what they have learned in their journeys with Pathfinders so far. I'm the district director and I will be your instructor for the day. Now, just one more thing. If you happen to hear a really annoying disembodied voice, I implore you, please ignore it.
Hey, I heard that.
Just ignore it, please.
Ignoring people isn't nice. What's the point of this anyway? You just here to have fun and you have an actual goal.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you asked. I'm going to check the Book of Wisdom, which always helps me when I need guidance, also known as the Bible. You can find the answer with me if you look in 2 Kings 2. Allow me to show you what we are aiming for.
It is time for you to stay here in Gilgal, for the Lord has told me to go to Bethel. He did not say that you had to come. You should rest here for a while. The road is rocky and your feet must be sore.
As surely as the Lord lives and yourself live, I will never leave you.
Did you know that the Lord is taking your master away from you today?
Of course, but shh, don't talk about it.
The Lord has told me to go and you should stay here and rest. The path is smooth, 'tis true, but it is long and narrow.
As surely as the Lord lives and yourself live, I will not leave you.
Did you know the Lord is taking your master away from you today?
Of course I know, but shh, keep quiet.
The Lord is telling me to go to Jericho. You should stay here and rest. The path is overgrown and it is easy to get tangled in the weeds.
As surely as the Lord lives and yourself live, I will never leave you.
The Lord is taking your master away from you today?
Of course, but shh, don't talk about it.
The Lord is telling me to go to the Jordan. But the journey is difficult. You just stay here and rest.
Surely as the Lord lives and yourself live, I will not leave you.
The river is impossible to cross this time of year. Lord God, help me out. Tell me, what can I do for you before I am taken away?
Please let me inherit a double share of your spirit and be your successor.
You ask a difficult thing. If you see me when I'm taken away from you, then you will get your request. But if not, then you won't.
What do you think, disembodied voice?
Oh, I see. The theme is how Elijah followed Elijah over smooth but narrow ways that are shallow but rocky. Roads tangled with weeds, just so he could see the fiery horses and inherit twice Elijah's spirit and be his successor.
So close, yet so far. Pathfinders is not about turning kids into prophets, or even letting them see fiery horses. We want to help equip them for the journey to heaven. But just like Elijah warned Elisha, the journey is difficult, but in the end, it is worth it. In fact, we have some adults who are so impressed with Pathfinders that they are still involved today. So here is one to tell us a little of how Pathfinders has affected their spiritual growth.
I guess I've got to tell you a little bit about the impact that Pathfinders have on us as adults. Yeah, it's exciting, it's challenging, and you know, with all of my experience from Scouts when I was younger, this is much more thrilling and much better and much more spiritually orientated and well-rounded. And that's what I think is the best thing about Pathfinders, is it's a holistic character-building activity. And I think it's great. Should be encouraged even more.
Thank you. Now I have some unpleasant business I must address. If each club would please send up a representative. Now, when your club was entering Fair Day this morning, your club did not march as well as you could. Are you not aware that all of your activities today, including marching, are being graded to see who qualifies for A-level at the end of the day?
That doesn't seem fair. You didn't warn them.
Oh, ouch, a bee sting. You better get some first aid on that. Okay, just so everyone is clear, the information about the marching was in the information every club received to help them prepare for this day. It explained that there was a certain standard required for marching, and you did not meet it. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. Some of the Pathfinders were out of step, and since your club is small, that put the whole thing off quite a bit.
Well, I suppose it is true. It didn't look quite as neat as it could, and it seems Caboolture Pathfinders are having a rough day with one young Pathfinder getting a bee sting before their activities. But don't worry, I know a story that might cheer you up.
Majesty, there's someone in the war camp that is very interested in your reward you have offered for killing the Philistines' champion.
Really, bring him here at once.
Don't worry about the Philistine. I'll go fight him.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no way you can fight this Philistine and probably win. You're only a boy, and he's been a man of war since his youth.
I have been taking care of my father's sheep and goats. When a lion or bear comes to steal the lamb from the flock, I go after it with a club and rescue the lamb from the lion's mouth. If the animal turns on me, I catch it by the jaw and club it to death. I have done this to both lions and bears, and I will do it again to these pagan Philistines. 2. And for he has defied the army of the living God, Yahweh. He rescued me from the claws of the lion and the bear, will rescue me from this Philistine.
I can see you are very determined then. Very well. You may fight him and Yahweh be with you, but only if you wear my armor.
This is way too big for me.
You are just a boy, not yet fully grown. There's no shame in being too small to fight.
One of life's realities is that bad things happen sometimes. Does that mean God has abandoned us? No. Caboolture Pathfinders has had a rough morning indeed. And although I hate to admit it, the disembodied voice seems to be onto something with that story.
Thanks. I just know from my own disappointments that sometimes, even though the bee stings, ouch, you can still have fun. Even though the armor is too big and chunky, you can still walk with your head held high when you walk with God. For the peace he gives to us is out of this world.
Very true. I do wonder if they will continue to sink today, or if they will rise to the challenge. But first, they deserve a little break, and I would like to hear from another Pathfinder staff member about how Pathfinders affects their spiritual life.
Hello, my name is Brenton and this is Antonio. It is when life is most full of trouble that it is difficult to be generous. But it is important to remember that our God is always generous to us, especially when we are struggling the most. It is also good to be generous. It is also good to support each other and to be generous where we can. The offering is going to be taken up together. It is time to take up today's offering. It is going to be for the local budget. While the offering is being taken up, we are going to do the scripture reading. Antonio here will be saying a line, and I will be leading you, the church, in response. The words are on the screen. Let us join our voices together and give glory to our generous God and read Psalm 136. But first, let's say a quick prayer for the offering. Dear Jesus, thank you for all that you've done, and thank you that we can have a roof under our heads. And please be with everybody and bless the offering and double it. Amen.
I'm going to say a line, then Brenton's going to lead you. The church, in response, gives thanks to the Lord, for he is good.
His faithful love endures forever.
Give thanks to the God of gods.
His faithful love endures forever.
Give thanks to the Lord of lords.
His faithful love endures forever.
Give thanks to him who placed us among the waters.
His faithful love endures forever.
Give thanks to him who made the heavens so skillfully.
His faithful love endures forever.
The sun to rule the day.
His faithful love endures forever.
And the moon and the stars to rule the night.
His faithful love endures forever.
He remembered us in our weakness.
His faithful love endures forever.
He saved us from our enemies.
His faithful love endures forever.
He gives food to every living thing.
His faithful love endures forever.
Give thanks to the God of heavenly.
His faithful love endures forever. Thank you, church, for that beautiful sound of praise.
The story doesn't end when David takes off the armor and says he can't fight. We should watch the end of it. That's the best bit.
Good morning. Happy Sabbath, everyone. My name's Hamish, and I've had the privilege this year to be a part of Pathfinders, not officially, but just going along in the camps and just helping with the meets. And the impact that I've seen even for myself personally is just amazing. I can fully appreciate what Pathfinders offers my children. I have my daughter Manaya in Pathfinder this year, and she's thoroughly enjoyed it. Her able to see the older leaders, in her age group with the teenagers has been amazing for her spiritual journey as well. And I really look forward to the rest of my 3 children to attend Pathfinders. Myself personally, I'm going to continue to be a part of Pathfinders to help foster the new generation and just be a part of lifting them up. And we all know that they're all part of this journey in spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. Thank you.
The story doesn't end when David takes off the armor and says he can't fight. We should watch the end of it. That's the best bit. Wow, David looks even smaller. He must be sweating buckets. His hair turned dark and curly.
You are just a ruddy-faced boy. You don't even have any proper weapons or armour. Am I a dog that you come at me with a stick? Is this the best representative you puny Israelites can come up with? Come over here and I'll give your flesh to the birds and wild animals.
You come to me with the sword and javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of heaven's armies, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today the Lord will conquer you, and I will kill you and cut off your head. And then I will give your dead bodies of your men to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. And everyone here will know that the Lord rescues his people, but not with sword and spear. This is Yahweh's battle, and he will give you to us.
We just need a moment to set up for the next activity. In the meantime, there is someone else who would like to share their story.
Look, I think we can all appreciate how much impact people and experiences have on our lives. And if it wasn't for good friends and good experiences, would we really be where we're sitting today? The thing I love about Pathfinders is that it offers both great people and great experiences. And I remember this one time, I was out doing the hiking honour with the Ipswich Pathfinder Club. And we went for one particular hike on one weekend that was, it was rather wet, it was rainy, and it was cloudy. And we were hiking around Mount Superbus. So if anyone's been up there at Mount Superbus, that's southeast Queensland's highest point, and there's a famous wreck up there, the Lincoln Wreck. Anyway, so we set out to do this 2-day hike to go find the Lincoln Wreck. Everything started off well. Lots of stories start like that, right? But after, I don't know, maybe about a day, we got to the top of the mountain range, and we were sitting on the ridge, and we pulled out the map, had a bit of a look, and we had no idea where we were. No, not a clue. It was cloudy. We didn't have any visibility. We couldn't see any of the peaks or the landmarks, and we just had a guess. We had a guess at where we were. Long story short, we hiked around for the next 3 days, and we didn't really know where we were. But there's a lot of lessons that we can take away from that type of experience. And while we didn't end up finding the wreck, and while we didn't find many landmarks to guide us to safety, God was good in that he heard our prayers and that he provided everything that we needed. He helped us walk out without any challenges. During the times in life where we can't find the track, where we don't know where we are, and where everyone else doesn't know where we are either, and we're exhausted, there's always someone we can turn to. God is so good. We had no loss of life and no injury. And that was one of the moments that I had in my life, my Pathfinder life, that really stuck with me. It was an unforgettable object lesson of God's love, which I can testify has changed my life from being just a Pathfinder to a disciple. And I also learnt one other life lesson: always pack an extra meal. Thank you.
Thank you. With all those stories, we need to get back on track with Pathfinder activities and races. It is Fair Day after all. There is a river here, and your first task is to build something that not only floats, but can hold one passenger who will use your boat to paddle across the river and back again.
While you guys are busy lashing, I'm going to tell you another story to make it more fun.
We're meant to be working, not having fun. Disembodied voice. Did you hear me? Ugh, so great. Ignoring me now. Doesn't ever listen.
Hey Dad, is it bad that I'm enjoying this work?
Not at all.
It's just that this flood thing sounds like it's going to be terrible. I can't ever imagine water falling from the sky. It's only in the ground. God says it will kill every living thing. That sounds like a straight up horror film. Or would it, if films even existed in those times of Noah? But it definitely does not sound fun. Yet here I am on a beautiful day. I get to be part of building something amazing and new, surrounded by friends and family. I can't imagine anything I'd rather be doing right now, or worse, reason is to be doing it. Am I wrong for having fun?
Tell me, child, is there any water falling now?
No.
So, we don't need to worry about it yet. We are doing all that we can, all that God has instructed us to do to prepare. Leave tomorrow's worries be. They will come soon enough. We have enough worries for today, like squaring off this board so it fits right. So just keep concentrating on that and we'll be fine. It's not only okay to have fun, it's good sometimes. We learn more when we are having fun, and God says that He helps us live life to the full. Misery is not a full life.
Go CABSDA. Wait, what? A leak? Come on, don't give up now. You need to find a way to patch it up. Hurry up, it's a race. You can do this.
I cannot believe the king, my husband, has ordered the Israelites to be destroyed. My cousin says that I must help, and he is right, I can see that. But what good will it be if I go before the king and I'm killed before I have a chance to say a single word?
My lady, how long have you lived in the palace?
Years now. What does that got to do with anything?
How do you come to be here in the first place?
You know this. The king sent word that all the beautiful young maidens were to be brought together, and I was seen as beautiful, so they brought me to the palace to await the king. He must have seen something in me that he liked, because I'm still here.
Part of your beauty is that you have always had an extra sense of peace around you. I asked you about it once and you told me it was because of the God you worship. Your cousin also said that it is perhaps that this time you are here. Do you not believe that your God has placed you here?
I cannot save anyone. I can't fight an army. I can barely even hold a sword. No one would ever listen to me.
But you have something else no one else does. You have a type of access to the king that no one else has. You see him at his most private.
But he hasn't called to me in days. He doesn't like me anymore.
Stop talking about what you don't have and start focusing on what you do. You have a face that caught the attention of the king in the first place, and you have your God in his peace. It radiates from you and soothes those around you. If your king is soothed, he is most likely to accept your approach. Plus, You have us, your assistants. We will be able to help you in any way we can. Your God has placed you here and now. He has designed everything that would bring you here. We know this because you pray to him to guide you every day. And it is up to him to save a nation. Or maybe he won't. But at least you have done the will of your God. So while you're soaking in your beauty treatments, pray. While you're eating, pray. And when you go before the king, you have used every moment and resource available to you. Maybe your God is big enough to save the Israelite nation with the beauty competition winner, queen.
My God will walk with me. You are right. Let's hurry and get started.
Adam, what can you use to patch up the boat? Look, above the waterline. There's a crate out there. Can you use that?
Way to use what you've got, Caboolture. Impressive time. Some of the other teams are not finished yet, so here's another person sharing how Pathfinders has impacted their spiritual life, whilst we wait for the last of the boats to come in so we can hear the official results of the race.
Well, Pathfinders to me is a bit of a lifelong ministry. Just love it. Got involved in Pathfinders back in, when I went through Pathfinders, and I stayed on after. But when I came to Caboolture in the early 1990s, we got involved with adventurers and then Pathfinders. And as you can still see, I still wear a shirt. Our Pathfinder ministry is just a beautiful ministry. The kids have so much energy. I'd really like to catch some of it now that I'm a little older. They inspire me in their sincere searching when we have worship in Pathfinders. Particularly this year, it was amazing. One of our Pathfinders brought a friend, and I don't know if it was the first time they opened a Bible, but just to hold a Bible and to open it, and then everybody helped to say, okay, this is where you find this, and it's on page such and such. It's just amazing, their journey, embracing Jesus through our worships. And I know campouts over the years have always been lots of fun. Fireside worships, sing-alongs, acting out the stories in the Bible, asking the Pathfinders what's their favourite character, all brings the Bible to life, and they can embrace it, and Jesus is their best friend. I know many of you have been in Pathfinders over the years, and you just live Jesus with them and share Jesus with them. And to me, that's a real spiritual journey with our Pathfinders. I was particularly, had my heart warmed. We had Pathfinder, I did Adventurers last week. That was great to see the younger groups having their rally and fair day. On our Pathfinder Rally Day, we had Pastor Richie who brought us the message, and he was asking our Pathfinders to follow him and to pitch their tent wherever he led them, and to follow him. And he did a call out for which Pathfinders would come follow God and pitch their tent with him. And we have a small club. Straight away, 3 of our Pathfinders went up the front. That really warmed my heart to see that God's really working in this ministry. So I really encourage you, for those who don't know much about Pathfinders, check it out. For those who'd like to volunteer their time, come along, see the leaders. We have great leaders here, Chad and Claire. Have a talk to them. It's amazing. just share your love for our young people. Share Jesus with them. It just warms your heart, and I know it warms me. So even though I can't go hiking as such anymore and I can't get down and camp as such, I can still be part of this beautiful ministry, and I just love the Pathfinders. So bless you all. You bless me. It's a boomerang effect. So thank you. Keep going. Keep following Jesus. He's your very best friend.
And in third place, with a truly courageous comeback, is Caboolture Pathfinders.
What do you mean by courageous? They're paddling. That's enthusiasm and energy, not courage.
That's a little hard to explain, but I think if you listen to this story, things will be a little more clear.
How do your people like getting their own straw? I should have done that years ago. Lazy. All of them are just too lazy.
That was unnecessary, Pharaoh. Cruel and unnecessary.
Yet here you are again, coming back to try again anyway. Weren't they upset that you showed me how lazy they are and made them do some work for a change?
They're not lazy. Your demands are just impossible.
Then why did you tell me to let them go? If they're in fine for a holiday, they aren't working hard enough. They're slaves. They don't get holiday leave. They don't even get sick leave. And why are you back? I can only assume, and so you can ask again. It would take a miracle for me not to just have you beaten and thrown out and demand even more of those Israelites. Actually, that's a good idea. I demand you show me a miracle. In fact, I'll make a promise. If you can show me a miracle, I will not give the lazy Israelites any more work. But if your God isn't strong enough to get past Egypt's gods, then I'll find something else for the lazy Israelites to do. I know you can't, because your God is too weak in Egypt. I had better things on to keep them occupied. Stuff into snake, miracle, maybe. Bit of a desperate miracle. Magician, show them a miracle! You're a snake maybe, then snakes are my magicians, but they still know staffs into snakes. That doesn't mean yours is stronger or better. It just means... Why are you even here, Moses? What made you think you could come before me, the great and mighty Pharaoh, and make crazy demands that you have no right to make?
I'm here because my God gave me the courage to be here. You were right. The Israelites are livid at me because you reacted by making their workload impossible. I was discouraged for a while, but I took it to God and He gave me the courage to come before you once again. And because He is always with me, I'll come again and again and again until you let His people go. Because while my courage may wane, His will never, and He will help me come back as many times as it takes for you to let His people go.
Get out! I'll never let them go! You guys, try and run my presents. You can't believe you got a tiny cobra snake for your snake.
Sometimes it takes more courage to keep going after we have already failed than it does to start something in the first place. Haven't you ever tried something, failed, and then refused to pick it up again?
You know what? That's true. And it's the same with David when he tried to put the armor on. And Esther, because the king hadn't asked for her in 30 days. But those are all different stories and taught different lessons, except they can teach multiple lessons. Wait, now I'm confused.
That was a lot of different stories. How about we think of it like cooking, which is our next activity? Pathfinders, I want two of you to take the ingredients from today, the stories we have told, and turn it into something tasty. Ingredients, and off you go.
What are we meant to make?
You heard the director. Something tasty.
That's going to be a bit tricky. Everything's all over the place.
Right, so why don't we start with the first thing?
Well, first we learned that the Pathfinders help us on our spiritual journey with the goal that as many as possible will make it to heaven like Elijah did. The more the merrier. Heaven is going to be one massive party.
Right, but along the way, sometimes we get stung a bit, either from a low score or because life gives us lemons sometimes.
When David stepped out onto that battlefield, he looked so small. His hair even turned from straight to curly, but Goliath was the one who died, not David. And that just proves that God is mighty, that even the small things can have a big impact.
But along the way, sometimes we get stung a bit, either from a low score, but this is in all seriousness, we're looking forward to a party, remember? It's okay to have fun along the way. Troubles come like floods sometimes, we just have to sit in our ark and wait them out. But there are also times for rejoicing. It is important to rejoice in the Lord. Have some fun along our journey.
And sometimes we just need to use what is available to us.
And sometimes we need courage too. Like Moses when he had to keep going before Pharaoh, even though everyone was angry at him. That would have taken some serious oomph.
In the end, while sometimes things don't make sense in the moment, when it all comes together, it will be beautiful. Then again, sometimes there are setbacks in this world of trouble.
Good thing our God is big enough to handle anything we can possibly throw at him, and we can help each other out.
I can't wait to get to heaven though. There everything will taste wonderful.
That is a good summary of the spiritual journeys we saw today. Though there are as many ways to have a relationship with God as there are people, some themes can be found in many journeys. For example, through music. Because music can have such a personal impact, I would love if you would join us for our final song, Indescribable. Pathfinders family and friends, both near and far, we are glad you're able to join us today. I don't think I can sum it up better than that, so how about we end it here?
Wait! What happened to the A level? Has Caboolture Pathfinders qualified? You can't just leave us hanging.
Yes, of course. I am pleased to announce that Caboolture Pathfinders has shown exemplary character and can be proud of their courage, determination, perseverance and kindness towards each other. They have certainly qualified for A-level. Congratulations!
Yay! Thank you. That's what I needed to know. Now I can go see a man about a kangaroo. Cheerio!
Oh, cheerio, disembodied voice. It was surprisingly nice to talk with you today. But as I was saying, I cannot sum it all up better than we have seen today. It is a good thing that our God is big enough to handle whatever life throws at us. I would like to thank Caboolture Pathfinders for taking the service. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope you have been blessed by this program. Now Daniel will say final prayer, then please remain seated as there are a couple of announcements to come. And afterwards there will be a PowerPoint presentation of some of the fun Caboolture Pathfinders get up to. Thank you, hope you'll enjoy.
Will you please bow your heads? Dear God, thank you for this day. Please let us have a good lunch and please bless it as we eat it. And thank you for the hands that made it. And thank you for all the actors and people who said something. And even if you didn't, you did a wonderful job. Amen.
The results for the first challenge are 11. Who picked up some sneaky references? Did anyone catch the first skip? The reason why Elijah gave Elisha to stay behind were all the different paths that the sower sowed a seed in Luke chapter 8 verse 5 to 21. We would love to hear more sneaky verses that everyone caught.
If you are watching online, please comment down below with what you caught. If you are here, please discuss this with your neighbour or one of us during break between church and Sabbath school.
There were 27 of characters. For full list, please see the final PowerPoint played after the announcement, which will begin by rolling credits, and then there will be some pictures of Pathfinders in action. Now we will hand it over to Rob Wareham for announcements.
Did you give thanks in your heart to God today as you watched those kids? Hey, wasn't that just awesome? Pathfinders, we thank you. And we acknowledge you. And we acknowledge the leaders. And Emmy, I understand you had a fair bit to do with the program today. Thank you. That's fantastic. And yeah, it's a God-given gift, Pathfinders. You know, way back in the dark ages when I was a kid, we are Pathfinders. And what a blessing it is to have that. So thank you, guys. And we do acknowledge each one of you, and we acknowledge the Pathfinder leaders. We've got a moment, we need to take a moment just for church family communications, just a few things to keep everyone informed. And we've just acknowledged our young ones. Delphine, where is she? Can you just come up for a moment? We're now going to, and I say this with respect, acknowledge the other end of the spectrum. And Delphine, one of our seniors, and you can see she's all dressed up today and got a tin to rattle. Now, our church has collected for the ADRA appeal $2,591, but listen to this bit. This little lady here has collected on her own by knocking on doors, which is a pretty scary thing to do these days. Knocking on doors, she collected $1,020 on her own. How about we acknowledge this lady? Well done, Delphine. and thank you. And I know there are some people, she goes to the same houses each year, and there are people who wait for her to come. One lady has been putting the money, any money she saves on the shopping, puts it aside and waits for you and gave her $100 at the door. So Delphine, thank you. Fantastic. That's a great effort. And also, if you know that nowadays, if you want to collect a record, there's records available to be collected. Some of you may like to have your record put aside for you in the files on the side. If you would like that, just see Delphine and she can organise that for you. Joel. Yeah, I just woke him up. Stand up, mate, stand up. This man flies back to Vanuatu tomorrow. He's been with us for quite a while. He's been here on a work visa, but he heads back to Vanuatu tomorrow, and it's been lovely having you worship with us, mate. We wish you all the best. I understand that you'll be coming back in the future on another work visa, but all the best, and our regards back to your folks and your church and everything back home. God bless, Joel, as you go. Signs. There's a young lady sitting here next to Bob. Bev said, if I could just say to you simply this, that if you haven't paid for the signs yet, you need to see her. But if you have paid, this is the complicated bit, if you have paid but you didn't get a receipt, can you also please see Bev? If you paid, you got a receipt, everything's okay, fine. But if you paid, didn't get a receipt, you'll need to see Bev. Visitors' lunch is on today. Very shortly we have refreshments and fellowship. It's a great thing. Out here under the veranda, we have Sabbath school at 11:15. Now, you think church is finished, but not quite. Okay, according to my program, it says we now have a Pathfinder PowerPoint. Am I right? That's it? So you'll enjoy this. The kids also enjoy looking up and seeing themselves on the screen. But you'll enjoy just watching these PowerPoints and the stuff that's been happening. Nothing like a visual to see what they've actually been doing. But God bless everyone. Happy Sabbath. Enjoy the PowerPoint and then enjoy going out and have some fellowship. Happy Sabbath. Yeah, can we do that? Let's put our hands together for the Pathfinders, their leaders. When you look at that, there's a lot of stuff that happens, a lot of work, a lot of planning, and a lot of time. So God bless you guys. Bless you, everyone. I have to say that during the David and Goliath skit, that's probably the first skit of that I've ever seen where David was twice the size of the giant. But great job, guys. Fantastic. Happy Sabbath, everyone. God bless.